He's got gold.
There's 13. So
No scriptwriter could have ever written a better story.
Sometimes, as we soar high into heaven, we forget the sensation of being firmly grounded. Do you remember the feeling of freedom? For riders who know the true feel of flying.
You've watched the experts. Now get fitted like one. Clip My Horse Studio for Falsterbo is presented by Stübben.
Well, hello there and a very warm welcome to you wherever you may be watching from around the world to this edition of the Clip My Horse TV In and Out. As we bring you all of the action, the insight and the analysis ahead of competition at Falsterbo. We are, of course, at CSIO 5-star there in Sweden, and what a show it's going to be across the course of this weekend. And so much to dig into about this show, but first I want to welcome the young lady, the exceptional equestrian expert that is Rosie Russell, who's going to sit alongside me this weekend.
Oh, thank you.
Young lady, how dare I?
Quite an introduction. But no, we have lots of action coming your way for Falsterbo this week, and a derby class today. I love a derby class. There's always so much action.
We know you do. You're at Hickstead just a couple of weeks ago for us, so you will have a unique insight and perspective to bring to us today. Someone that is also going to have a unique insight is going to be Malin. We're going to talk to her in a minute, but first of all, we want to get up to speed with where we are and what we're doing this weekend at Falsterbo. Let's give you 4 fast facts then about this Falsterbo Horse Show, if we can do that. So much to know. It is, of course, the largest outdoor sports event in Sweden. I say of course, but that one came as a surprise to me. But Sweden, steeped in equestrian sporting history. We are in deep in Sweden, of course, and talking about history, this show in particular, Rosie, founded in 1920 by the Royal Swedish Cavalry. So a lot of tradition and a lot of tradition and respect going into this show. Crucial team competition before the World Championships, this one. It is crucial. We only have a couple more big events before that World Championships year. Ding, 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 wave that flag. As we've been saying, it's coming up in August in Aachen. And this will give the riders the opportunity to really shine. One of the few times they'll get to do that now before the final selection for teams comes up, of course. And this event, of course, has been running all week, as I say. The 5-star competition later in the week, but so many events over the course of this week, starting on Monday. 60,000 spectators crossing the threshold there and making their way to Falsterbo, to this exceptional venue. It is a beautiful venue, Rosie.
It really is, and we've seen some shots of it from the
impressive. We want to go down to Malin Larsson. She is in a unique position. She is, of course, a local girl at heart, realistically, being a Swede herself, and she's got a very special guest with her down by the warm-up arena.
Yes, what an absolute treat to welcome all of you here to Falsterbo, together with Steve Gerda, of course, a hugely popular rider here over the years, and of course also a winner in the Nations Cup yesterday. What a day for Switzerland and for you in Dynamics.
Yes, it's been a very nice day yesterday. We always enjoy coming back in Falsterbo, and we try to bring a strong team every year. So was the case this year also, with more or less the rider that's gonna be our team in Aachen in the WEG, and maybe not all the horses, but the riders. For me, it was a big test also, and a big relief, let's say, at the end of the day, because it was yesterday that I decided to make my decision if Dynamics would be ready or not for the WEG after a little injury that she had at the beginning of the year, and she responded really well, and so I was released yesterday and felt very confident about trying also the World Championship with her.
I think a lot of Dynamics fans all over the world will be very, very happy to hear that. And today, of course, Derby Day. How do you feel about riding derbies?
Yeah, good. I love derbies, especially this one. The atmosphere is always great at this show, and we have fantastic condition. The weather this year is playing with, so really looking forward for the class to start. It's a very, very enjoyable class to ride. I really love it, and I have a horse who really likes this class as well. So I hope I can enjoy it as much as the other year, and try to have some pleasure along the long course. And yeah, let's see what today brings us.
Easy Star?
Yes, Easy Star.
What about the shape?
Yeah, he's in good shape. He jumped very good yesterday. He was clear in the qualifier. He's feeling good. He won the Derby in La Baule a few weeks ago. This was his last show before coming here. So he's feeling good, and looking forward for what's coming up.
And fellow countryman Martin Fuchs, second in La Baule. He's also in the field today. Yeah. Do you feel it's going to be another battle?
Yeah, I think it's actually really nice to see the field is getting kind of stronger every year. I think there's a few really interesting rider horses this afternoon, and quite a few could go clear. So I've never seen a jump off with more than two, but I think this year we could have more than two in a jump off. Yeah.
And the viewers at the In and Out show, they will very soon get to know the venue a little bit better. So just a few words on this show, what it has meant to you over the years, and why you like it so much.
Yeah, I like it because you know, I always say that horses come from the nature, you know, and horses like to be in grass, in the field, in the nature, and this is just what it's about here. We have big grass field all over the place. We walk along the wood to bring the horses from the stable, long walk to the warm-up. We can ride in a lot of different places, all very nice grass arenas. And then obviously the stadium is fantastic with the atmosphere and the Swedish crowd, which really knows about the sport, really enjoy the sport, enjoy the good horses and what we do. And yeah, there is no better feeling for us riders than to do what we like to do, jumping horses in condition like this, and then with an atmosphere like Falsterbo offers.
And also the second year as part of the Rolex series, that has certainly made the level of the field rise to, I think, a new level pretty much.
Yeah, it's true. I never missed Falsterbo, but yeah, obviously there was a few years where maybe there were always a few of the best, but the top one were not all here at that weekend. But I think now there is no way around Falsterbo. Everybody wants to come here thanks to Rolex and the Rolex series. So the show really deserves it, and we're obviously very thankful to Rolex to support venues like this, because this is where we want to be, and this is where the sport is at its best.
And the course is about to open, so we're going to let you go and prepare. You. And best of luck. Thank you so much for starting the show for Falsterbo together with us. Best of luck. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, this is about to be a very exciting afternoon, and so happy to get everything going and get another afternoon of top sport.
Thanks to Marlon, of course, there, and to Steve. Steve was like, yoink, I'm out of here. I got to go and walk that course. He was saying... Falsterbo, because it is so beautiful. We touched on this. We've been looking at these pictures from the sky, and we can show them to you now. Some of these beautiful drone shots of this venue. It is a fantastic, I mean, just of like a forested area there, so the horses can walk through the shade, they can cool off, they can be in nature and really sort of relax and have downtime when they're not experience for the teams around the horses, but the horses most importantly at the forefront of everyone's mind there.
100%, and it makes them really relaxed being in an atmosphere like that, as you've said, very natural. Then they can perform at their best. They're not feeling tense, they're feeling like it's very much like home. And especially when these horses are travelling so frequently, they want to be feeling relaxed and at home and not in some strange environment. So it's perfect that these events are putting on facilities like this.
Let's face it, they are the stars of our show, so of course we want to spoil them as much as we can, and they deserve it. We want to take a bit more of a look at this venue then. We've had a little brief look from the sky, and Steve and Marlon done a great job of bringing us up to speed, but Marlon has been there all week, and she is taking a look at our venue in focus.
On the seaside, about 30 kilometers south of Malmö, for many years Falsterbo Horse Show has been the highlight of the summer for Swedish equestrian sport. A large show program, amateurs competition, champion classes for young horses, a lot of shopping, and also this year 5-star Dressage Nations Cup. And then, of course, as the main number, the icing on the cake, the 5-star jumping with the big Grand Prix, the Falsterbo Derby, and of course the Nations Cup. The first show was held already in 1920. Some great names have won here in the past. 1969, the first winner in history of the classic Falsterbo Derby, Mr. Jan Avanius, now head of the organizing committee. A very popular venue, not only for the Swedish riders. Steve Garda, one of the top names that has kept coming back over the years, and of course one of the absolute favorites among the highly appreciated Swedish crowd. And of course he's the winner of the Grand Prix in 2017. 2025 was the start of a new era, first year as part of the Rolex series. And as a result, the level of the starting field reached a whole new level. Falsterbo Horse Show is more than ready to crown new champions.
Wow, the venue really does speak for itself almost, doesn't it? It is absolutely incredible. It's no wonder they want to flock there to be a part of this show. And Rosie, they have, and the competition has been hot, hot, hot all week. As we say, it starts on the Monday, some of the sort of lower level classes, the different disciplines taking place across the start of the week. And then on Friday, of course, the all-important Nations Cup. We want to have a little bit of a look back at that. We're also going to look back at a class that we saw earlier this morning, which is our qualifier for the Grand Prix, but today our focus will be this derby because it is going to be a showstopper. Firstly, let's talk about this Nations Cup because we've dug in. The team at Equa Ratings have provided us with some analysis because, as we said, these team appearances...
Equa Ratings did some predictions before do very well coming into this. We're the second favourite and Switzerland as third. As you can see here, we're the second favourite and Switzerland as third. As you can see here from the figures, a 26% favourite Belgium were coming in, Germany on 20, Switzerland 19. And how it went was very much a battle between Belgium and Switzerland. Germany didn't quite have the day that they had hoped for, but that's the thing with predictions and predictions going into an event, most certainly. They are predictions, they are not a forecast. And with sport, anything can happen. As we've mentioned, a big head-to-head battle between Belgium and Switzerland. But how did it play out? Well, for Belgium, Nicolas Philipparts was first in the ring and he picked up 4 penalties. That kind of opened the door a little bit for Switzerland. And they produced then 2 great clear rounds. Steve Godard, who we just saw, the man who just keeps producing clears, and Gaetan Joliet, who is a very young rider, but really coming up through the levels and making good team appearances. So that was a great start for them. Belgium soon caught up after round 1 because Abdel Said and Thibaut Spitz both produced clear rounds. So then they went into round 2, and that's where it got a little bit more interesting. The course was a little bit more challenging, especially the triple combination, because that got adjusted for round 2, and that unfortunately was where Gaetan was and knocked a pole. So 4 faults picked up. Speedy jump off is what it was going to. When it came to jump off time, unfortunately for Peter de Vos, he had an early battle throughout and it kept it real.
But these are the riders here who
in 2026, that's an 83% clear. Thinking of the World Championships, you want dependable combinations like that. Combinations you know that, yeah, likely they are going to go in and jump clear. So really important that they're continuing that amazing streak of clear rounds. Peter de Vos was another double clear, which we should make sure that we keep an eye on for World Championships. The same for Thomas Ryan, but Adrian Whiteway as well and Chaco Volo for Great Britain. They've been on phenomenal form, and that was their 8th clear round at a Nations Cup together. So really strong to be able to be producing numbers like that back to back. Consistency at this level is challenging.
Yeah, and what a team performance that is, considering that Adrian and Shakovolo are on that long list
Yes,
for the
exactly.
World Championships. That is very, very interesting. A consistent performer at that team level. And wouldn't it be an incredible story and an emotional story for Adrian if he's to go off to Aachen in August? That would be incredible stuff. So as we said there, we played out, we had Peter de Vos and Martin Fuchs in that jump off. So things got incredibly tense. Two pretty heavy hitters in that jump off. We can take a look at how it all went down.
One will come out the winner, one will come out second. Peter de Vos, Primo DV, which will they be? We won't know at the end of this round. We'll know at the end of his round. Martin Fuchs there, waits in the wings.
It looks like there's an inside turn from 1 to 2, but it does put you on a very awkward angle to that Rolex vertical. Let's see what Peter decides to do here. Yep, goes inside, but around that hedge. That makes sense. That allows him to get nice and straight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
So this is the turn back to the new fence on course.
He's going to slice here,
Oh,
and
no.
he's way too far off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about taking the pressure off of Martin. Because this is going to be 4+ time.
Yeah, he would be able to have a quiet
Yeah, that's a costly error.
pop around. But, you know, that, nothing's ever done until it's done.
This is true.
Turn back to the last, but he's not going flat to the boards
No.
now. He's going to pick up some time. 53 is the time allowed. The last is going to go down as well.
Yeah, I wonder if Belgium maybe made the wrong selection here to send Peter into the jump off. A bit of a slower horse. Yeah, when you have 3 other combinations like Abdel and Quaker, Nicola and Katanga, and Impress K and Thibaut, you would think
you've got 2 different schools of thought of going. Am I going that way?
It's easy to say in hindsight for sure.
Or am I trying out a pairing that need to do this under pressure?
Yeah, that's fair. You see this, just way too flat and long and on the angle. And with the horse already getting careful in the warm-up ring, that was just the wrong choice there by Peter, unfortunately. He just needed to sit chilly and put an extra stride in, get that jumped, and put some pressure on Martin by jumping a clear. But Martin can essentially just pop around this for a schooling class.
A nice hack around here. But as you said, we've seen all sorts happen this afternoon. I would be surprised.
Would be shocking. Yeah,
it would be pretty shocking, but you know. de Vos with 13.
Yeah, and there were only 7 jumps to jump out here.
Okay, Martin Fuchs. But you have to say, for Switzerland's point of view, it's been quite the fight back.
It has been.
Because they looked as though they were going
It's a remarkable turn of events. And hats off to Steve, obviously, but also Jason Smith, who jumped a brilliant double clear. Yeah,
because Belgium were looking really in the much more commanding position.
They were. Yeah, Martin takes the long route to number 2. No need to take any risk whatsoever. He's going to get nice and square here. You can tell he doesn't take the most direct line. Yep. It's 3 jumps from home.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant.
Other than disaster at the last, this is done for Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean, he could go through this and still win.
He'd still win, but yes.
There
you go. Very, very nicely done. He can afford a bit of time.
Yeah.
3 for time, but as you said, it was a super team effort by Switzerland. They fought back in there. They had an elimination from Gaetan, who's jumped some brilliant rounds. He jumped clear in the first round. Just it didn't work out in round 2. Steve Gerdau coming into play with Dynamics as well. Martin Fuchs bringing it home for them as well, but they picked up as a team in the second round with that elimination. Still kept producing the clears.
It is a wonderful win for Switzerland. Fantastic stuff. Really, really well thought of as well. And of course, just really illustrating the strength of that Swiss team and the strength, of course, as a closer of Martin Fuchs, who is one that we always have an eye on, no matter what qualifier this morning that we took a look at. Now, we had an eventual victory there by Philipp Weishaupt, the German rider with Kaleo. An impressive victory and one that sets him up well for tomorrow's Grand Prix.
Oh, most certainly, and especially with a 9-year-old horse that's still quite a young age to be competing at this level.
Yeah.
And this horse has had 5 international wins in 2026. This was the 5th, and 2 at the 5-star level, which is so impressive for a young horse, because sometimes they are still finding their feet at this level, but they seem to be very much, you know, at home at the 5-star level, which is great. And they're quick. They were 2 seconds roughly quicker than the other horses that were in second, because there was joint second with Charlotte Jacobs and Shane Sweetnam. So to also be ships coming up.
Yeah, and a bit of a thriller, wasn't it? With the speed at which they were going, and then to have a tie for second position with absolutely dead on the clock, and penalties as well with Shane Sweetman now.
To the middle triple combination. Going along nicely with this 9-year-old. Jumped in Doha to get some good mileage earlier this year. Recently winning in the Netherlands. And 62.98, would you believe it's quicker? Philipp Weishaupt and Kaleo L. Again, really smoothly round for Philipp.
Well, a great victory there in the Grand Prix qualifier, setting up everything we need for the Rolex Grand Prix tomorrow. And of course, we'll insight and analysis, looking forward to things. We're getting closer and closer to this Derby competition that's coming up this afternoon. Marlon Larson is our reporter down by the warm-up arena getting things started, and she's got a special guest in, Jess Curtin.
It's a long track. You can't do that one in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and we are back here by the warm-up with the chef d'équipe for Ireland since the beginning of the year, Jessica Curtin. How do you feel about the Derby days?
Oh, sorry.
And here's the course builder himself. You happy with the questions you put out there? Yeah, all good to go. Jessica, what are your thoughts on a Derby day? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I absolutely love a Derby. I've ridden this Derby, Hickstead, Hamburg, so I really, really love a Derby. I've had a quick look around the course. Obviously, I didn't have much time because I came here for the interview, but it's a beautiful course. The conditions are great for today, so I think it's going to be wonderful.
And from the Derby fences, the one that really puts the special atmosphere, which ones of them are you taking an extra close look at?
I think the beauty of this Derby, it really is. Sometimes they have a Derby with just 1 or 2 natural jumps. Here we have the open water, we have the bridge that causes a lot of people trouble getting in here and getting away from here. Then we have jumping out of the arena, the bank, down the Derby rails. Tricky dark brown double of verticals coming home. We have the Devil's Dyke. There is the wall. There's a lot of things in the course which are natural jumps, and I think depending on the rider and the horse, there's enough little things out there to catch everyone.
And as general, in general for Ireland, what places does Derby has for the Irish riders?
Very deep in our hearts. We come from a land where we grew up with, obviously with riding in the countryside, with hunting, with riding derbies. It's a tradition in our heritage. So yeah, we have 2 riders in here today, and all very keen for the Derby today.
Trevor Breen and Jordan Coyle, of course, are your riders today. How do you feel about their chances?
Actually very good. Trevor's horse hasn't done a derby yet, but he said that he noticed he really liked, because obviously he lives very close to Hickstead, he really likes jumping the natural fences. So he did go and train a little bit, a few natural fences before coming here. He said it's the first time he's going to take on the open water in an event like this, but he feels very, very confident that his horse is going to be very, very comfortable in there. And obviously Jordan Coyle won the qualifier. Incredibly careful, fast horse. Not sure if he absolutely loves the natural jumps, but Jordan is a genius in the saddle, so we can definitely expect something special to happen there.
Just a quick word on the open water. A lot of riders keep mentioning it. It comes back here and there. Is there something that is in the mind of the riders a little bit? Is it a difficult fence?
Well, obviously, I suppose you could say it's like jumping a river, but of course it's not. It's just a little puddle that looks like a river, but it's something that you don't train a lot. You know, a water jump is not something, I mean, when horses are young, you'll let them jump it so as they know that it's not a scary thing, and then you jump it every now and then. So at the beginning of the season you would jump it once and then you would just leave it until you meet it at the shows. It's not a jump that gets trained a lot, because you want the horses to stretch and jump the water, not just splash splash through it. So obviously some riders say, oh, I don't get an opportunity to jump the water too often, so I'm a little bit nervous that I will find the right takeoff spot, come at the right speed. So it's just a little bit in the rider's head that they can sometimes feel a little nervous, but it's actually just a large stretch, so it's not a big deal in reality.
Also, Steve Gerda mentioned earlier that he thinks that the starting field of the derbies are slowly getting stronger and stronger, that riders are more interested in it. Is that your opinion as well, something that you've noticed?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, I grew up with the Derby being, you rode your best Grand Prix horse in the Derby, and it gradually died out as people became more concentrated on the classical competition and perhaps even a little bit nervous because they didn't have the opportunity. But now, with a lot of grass field events, which is great for the sport, there's more natural jumps and riders are saying, oh, this is fun, I enjoy this, and they notice how much the horses enjoy it. Actually, the horses really enjoy this class. You know, for a lot of them, they love this, just getting into a rhythm, galloping and jumping, and it's so beautifully done out here. Obviously, it's not a maximum height competition, it's not a 160 competition, so it's an opportunity for horses who are not at 160 level. So it's just a great fun event, and I think you will see here today those horses who enjoy Derby will have so much fun in there.
Would you like to pick a winner?
Well, we have some strong ones in there today. Obviously, we have Andre Thiem with Paula, and Andre's won the Hamburg Derby. We have William Whittaker in there, and he's just come off winning the Hickstead Derby, which is a very, very serious, I'd say the toughest derby in the world. So they're very, very strong ones in there. Abdel Saeed won it with the same horse last year. But I'm not going to say it'll be a winner, but I would like to see our two Irish boys right up there.
Yes, I'm sure you will. And what an absolutely splendid field we have here, and so much points towards a super competition.
Yeah, super stuff. And I could just listen to Jess Curtin talk all day. You learn so much listening to her talk, and just wonderful. And I'm sure those glasses are green. I'm sure there's a reason they're green. I think it's an Irish nod, an Irish wink, as they call it. Definitely super cool to hear from Jess there. Really insightful. And starting to consider them. They're coming back into vogue, like the 90s, if you remember those. So I do. Let's talk about these World Championships again, because they do keep coming up. It's a really important time of the year for all of these riders. It will be in the forefront of their mind, I think. And I know that Marlon caught up with Peter de Vos. He has had a pretty impressive weekend here so far. This will be an important weekend for him in terms of performances, and he had this to say about the World Championship selection.
Yeah, I think Casual really did a very good season already, and I think she proved that she's ready to go. And okay, we have to see what the chef d'équipe decides after Falsterbo. But I have a good feeling on her, and I think we are ready to do it. So I think that's the most important.
See, there we go. So everybody is thinking about this weekend. Of course, long lists have now come out. They've all been released for every nation in the world, or the discipline, be named for the actual teams not too far away.
Yeah, and it builds the pressure, especially when you're going to event, and you know that the team hasn't been picked yet. You're conscious that, okay, you're on the long list, but that doesn't mean you're there. You're really trying to put your best foot forwards on every show. And that's where it's hard, because you've got to balance your nerves, because that could end up rolling into something like a mistake that you didn't want to happen, and then that's your contention gone.
Yeah.
It's fine lines, and these riders will know that. The more experienced ones have been in this position before, so they know how to manage that. But maybe some of the younger ones don't know how to manage that, and we'll wait and see. But it does provide lots of action and drama for us.
It does, and analyse and provide insight. Insight and analysis is what we want to provide ahead of this Derby class. We've already talked so much about it that the riders will be looking forward to this. Marlon talking to Jess Curtin there, talking about the fact that a lot of riders getting the opportunity to show their horses the open water for the first time. So that'll be interesting today when we look at this class. But let's dig into it then, because it is a unique class. We don't see a lot of them, but they are exciting. We want to give you 4 facts about what is the Falsterbo Derby. It's the first Swedish show jumping derby was held in Falsterbo in 1969. So it is iconic. It's been around for quite some time. And as we were talking about earlier, has some pretty impressive names on the winning roster. It's a CSO 5-star competition. That's the rule book under which it is played. But as we pointed out earlier as well, and Jess mentioned, not up to maximum height of show jumping at 5-star level, not 160, but 150. So a little bit more generous, of course. Our course designer across the course of the week there, we've already met him today. He already has appeared on the program. It is Frank Rothenberger. He did bomb that live cross somewhat, just hoping to grab a couple of words with Marlon and with Jess Curtin earlier and didn't realise we were on the telly. But yes, he and his team will be building this course today and of course that Grand Prix course tomorrow. The prize money is 105 odd €1,000, so plenty to play for in Falsterbo this weekend for all of them, and this should be a fantastic class as we dig into it now, Rosie. It's always a challenge. We talk about this with the Echo Ratings team because Derby horses are very specialised. Derby classes are very specialised. We don't see them week in, week out, so the data isn't always as readily available as those big 5-star classes, but we know we have 20 combinations coming forward.
Yeah, it's quite a nice Derby class to have 20 coming forwards, lots of different riders and also lots of previous winners as well, which is really, really interesting because if we look at how many that might go clear, on average across the years, as you can see, it's quite a variance, but on average 13%. So that means that probably you're going to get about 3 go through, of which that would be quite an interesting jump off if there was 3. And not often would I say 3 for a Derby class because clears are really, really difficult to get in a Derby class, but this is a strong field. So 3 I think could happen, but then with the 60% clear rate, roughly 63% in the jump off, means that that's about 2 clears. So it's not going to be a big jumping class in volume of numbers, but it's going to be all down to time, and then that's when you can see either people rise to the pressure or little mistakes creep in. So it could be a very interesting class.
Yeah, of course. It all comes down to making sure they go clear around that course, and then the time, of course, comes into it as well. Now, let's have a look then. We've guessed at how many we think will be clear out of that come forward. Here are our previous winners, because this is certainly an interesting list of names there, as you can see, and some different horses, perhaps not always the ones we've been used to seeing at the top of the list. But Abdul Saeed, of course, forward. Steve Godard comes forward, same horse that won in the ball and the Derby just a few weeks ago.
Yep, he is absolutely flying with his horse in terms of derbies, and you know, he was winner in 2023. He was second here last year. He's won Le Ball, and that was their last event, of which the crowd absolutely loved Steve there. Just erupted when he won that, which is fantastic. So he's really definitely one to watch. I also want to say Petter Fredriksson coming in here, because he's won here in 2018. He's on a bit of a younger horse today, so I don't quite know if he's going to get the win, but home turf as well, so that little bit of home spirit might do the job. So I think there's lots of interesting riders in there, and also Andre Timi, he's the only rider who has won this Derby twice. I think that could change day. Maybe he could go on.
Rider he is. So that is where we are with in terms of the analysis. We're talking about those previous riders. Abdul Saeed right at the top of that list, obviously the 2025, the previous winner there. Should we take a look at that previous win Rosie set it up for?
Go on, let's go have a little look.
Let's take a look.
And here we go. Abdul Saeed, the first of two in the jump-off with Arpège de Roux, an absolutely foot-perfect clear round earlier on from Arpège. And actually a lot of the issue fences taken out now. This is all just a little bit fast and furious to get them home. So off and running. 1, 2, 3, 4 AB as they were before. Abdul really opening up now as he comes up, because he knows Steve and Easy Star de Talma can move. They can be forward and flowing. Picks up this brand new fence, not jumped before. Falsterbo vertical, back to the wall. No surprise to see him on the right-hand side of the sails there, the way the course sets them up. Here's the last of the jump-off course. 45.89. Abdul Saeed is double clear. Just listen to that audience here in Falsterbo. They have really enjoyed the jumping in this derby.
Yeah, good stuff there by Abdul Saeed, and really looking forward to seeing Abdul come forward yet again in 2026. Can he go back to back, Rosie? Well, we are yet to be seen, but we said it's a short list. Oomph behind them on this list. We want to talk about one of them. Again, you're in a unique position to talk about this because you watched this unfold just a few weeks ago. This man, William Whittaker, taking the win at Hickstead. We heard Jess Curtin talk about him a little earlier. Some serious gravitas coming, and he has won that on Flamboyant. It's something he's been working towards and edging ever closer to for a few years now.
It was spectacular, and I mean, if we're talking Derby specialists, this horse is most certainly that. He's massive. He's 18 hands high, pretty tall, 18, yes. Yeah. But they won that Hickstead Derby, as you say. They were runner-up in 2024, 2025. They were 6th at Hamburg this year. Everything is rolling in their direction to do well at a Derby, and I mean, it is their first time competing in Falsterbo. They've never done this Derby before. That could pose a bit of a different question because it's unknown territory. But I just think it's a really interesting story with this horse because actually owned and ridden by Elliott Smith, and William picks up the reins for Derby competitions because back in 2022, Elliott Smith completed the Derby trial at Hickstead. As he was crossing the finish line, he fell off and broke his leg, which was so unfortunate.
I remember, I was there.
Yeah, so he couldn't actually do the Derby that he qualified for. So they said, right, let's get William Whittaker on board. And they just gelled as a partnership. And I think it's good horsemanship from Elliott to notice that and go, actually, do you know what? This horse does really well at Derbies with William. So William jumps on for the Derbies, Elliott rides him in bigger classes throughout the year, and it's a perfect combination.
Perfect team effort, and it really was, and a remarkable relationship to have, to be able to hand the reins over. And remarkable, William Whittaker picked the reins, I mean, it's literally 2 days later, and jumped on and went, oh, I'll have a crack.
To go jump around a 160, it's massive. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
It's a pretty Whittaker thing to do, let's put it that way. And it's worked out, really keep an eye on. He'll be a rider we'll be looking at as well in this class. perhaps not bringing the huge level of impact here because this is a younger horse, as we said, and that's Peter Fredriksson. But it is a rider we simply cannot ignore. Curious is just a 9-year-old coming in.
Yeah, just 9 years old, young at this level, runner-up in a 2-star Grand Prix back in May. But I think it's interesting because we could see this horse really step up. It's quite a sharp step up to go to a 5-star Derby, but I mean, Peter Fredriksson knows what he's doing. This is not me to tell him if it's a sharp step up. He knows this horse really, really well, and with a home nation behind him, it could be a nice little spur that they need. So I'm really interested to watch this 9-year-old and see how they develop throughout the track.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic example of an extremely talented horseman with this younger horse, really a showcase of how it should be done. And of course, he is at home in Sweden. He is the nation's sweetheart, if we can call him that. And he is one of our favourites here, and he is our rider in focus today.
Today's Rider in Focus is brought to you by Stübben.
The Derby is a great class here in Falsterbo. I grow up with it. I see in the Derby every year, and it's, you know, it's fun to watch. A bit different from normal classes. I'm an old cross-country rider and eventing, so I actually went cross-country training a few times before the Derby with Curious here, and I really enjoy that. I think in show jumping you really have to be in control 100% all the time. When you ride cross-country you need to leave it a bit more up to the horse. It's a different kind of communication, and the horse really needs to work with the fence in a different way than when you do pure show jumping. I think the Derby is good. Curious here, which I'm riding, he's 9 now. I produced him really slow. I kept him in low classes, and he won quite a few of the low speed classes, but I can't keep doing that if I want to produce him, you know, to a Grand Prix horse. He's not really ready to go the biggest yet, so I think the Derby is a good way to educate him. And I think also it's a good way to keep the horse motivated and get him fit, and I mean they're gonna benefit from that in the future career. He's just an amazing horse to work with. He has a lot of energy. He learns really easy. It's that kind of horse you always pick him first to ride because he puts you in a good mood for the rest of the day. Well, good big shoes to fill, but he feels a bit similar to All in some ways, you know, riding-wise, because he's also not a big horse, has a lot of blood, he's careful. We'll see in the end, you know, if we jump the biggest things, that's difficult to tell in the beginning, but all horses are different. I haven't really jumped along water with him yet on grass, so I have a anyway. My hopes is just that it's going to be a good experience for Curious. I don't know, he might come in and he might look at something, or maybe he doesn't jump the water. We'll see. We're going to ask some questions that we haven't asked before, and then I hope I get a good right answers and we can build on from there next year. My brother was second twice. That was good memories. My wife won it once, and I won it once. So that's some good family memories. In the ring, always battle. Outside the ring, best friends. Yeah, we'll see on Sunday if it's show jumping or eventing. I haven't tried the dressage yet, so I will try to do some extended trot sitting down and see how much I bounce.
Are we breaking news in the In and Out studios? Peter Fredriksson jumping disciplines again?
I know.
Fredriksson. Or it could be comeback in eventing. You never know. He said he loves it. It might be a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. We want to go back to Marlon now, who is with someone who has just walked the course. It's Martin Fuchs.
Yeah, we're all super excited to hear what you think of the challenge ahead, Martin. What do you say about the course? You just walked it.
Yeah, definitely very challenging. Long course, first of all. A lot of natural fences, a lot of things that most horses have never seen. So yeah, it's exciting.
Some riders have talked about the open water. Is that your fence in focus, so to say, or do you have some other challenges out there where you spend time?
I definitely have to make sure that I ride the open water really well. My mare Love to Be, she jumps it very careful and high, so I need to come with a lot of speed to give her the best chance to cover the whole water. And then obviously the skinny fences are coming down from the bank with the wide, tall, vertical. It's definitely very hard, double vertical. I think we have everything in it. We have some oxers, we have natural fences, we have tricky verticals, so we have water jumps. I think it's a very good course.
And also it's a longer course than a 5-star Grand Prix and a test for the stamina as well. Is that something that has affected your training at all, or what is your view on that?
I have done with this mare the Derby in La Baule, which is similar from length as today's Derby, so she performed very well there, and she showed great stamina. So I definitely think she's in good shape. Now I got to make sure that I will also have enough strength and power from the first until the last fence, and give her the best chance to jump a clear.
Tell us a little bit about Love to Be and her character and why she's a good horse for a Derby.
Yeah, Love to Be is a fantastic horse, really great-minded, very straightforward. She loves to do it. She loves to jump. You can really put anything in front of her, and she takes it. So yeah, that's why I chose her. The bravest horse I had in the stable, the best head of all the horses. So yeah, she's the one for today.
Second in La Baule, right behind your colleague Steve Gerda. What do you think about your chances today?
Today is a bit a different class since it's with jump off here. In La Baule it was speed. Back then Steve was last to go. Today I'm last to go, so I hope we'll meet each other in the jump off, and that I can perform well with Love and give her the best chance for a Derby victory.
Steve he's been quite open about him liking derbies. Are you moving towards that as well? Is there something that has become more interesting for you in the last time?
Yeah, I've done it already before a couple of times here. I was never really successful, so I'm very excited now to be sitting on such a fantastic mare with Love to Be, that we can really try to move also into the Derby circle. And yeah, I love doing it. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait for today to start.
And will you watch a few during the course?
I will definitely watch as many as I can. The course is not as familiar to me as other courses. Then there's not a lot of videos to find from the past year, so I have a good draw that I go late and I can see my colleagues, what they do, and then adapt my plan according to that.
So many interesting horses and riders, and so much to look forward to. Now we're getting very, very close to start this Derby. I am super excited. I guess you are too, Martin?
Yes, I am too.
Yeah, so let's get this thing going.
Thanks, Marlon, and thanks, Martin. They're just going to take over. They should do the show from down there.
Exactly.
The two of them. Yeah, absolutely. Cool stuff. We want to keep having a look at our riders. We are focusing in on those riders. Martin's certainly one to watch. He thinks a lot of this mare. It will be lovely to see her come forward. Incredible breeding and sort of coming through there that we're really excited to see. Let's talk a little bit about then another rider to watch. We've already heard from him today, of course, and that is Steve Godin, Rosie.
Yeah, and
Stevie G, your mate.
How he's on the lookout for him as well. But Easy Starter Talma is the horse that he brings forward, and actually winner of this Derby in 2023. They also won La Baule a few weeks ago, as we've mentioned. They were second here last year. They are Derby specialists. This is where they thrive, and you can see that in the stats. They've completed 8 Derby classes. They've won 3 times and was on the podium 6 times, which is phenomenal. And I think when you know you've got a horse that's a Derby specialist like this, Steve knows this is the type of class where this horse thrives. Why not go for all the Derbies? Go and win them all. Let's see him at Hickstead next year. Why not? So yeah, definitely one to watch, and one I'm really excited to watch during this class.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not watch a man like that, really, and particularly paired up with this horse in Easy Star, who is just having such an incredible run and such a performer in this Derby. And they come out and it's an absolute masterclass when you watch them. Totally. It takes your breath away almost to see them deliver their rounds in these kinds of classes, so it'd be wonderful to watch. Someone else who's we're really excited about watching is a man, of course, we've spoken about, because he is last year's winner in this class, and that's Abdul Saeed.
Exactly. He knows what he's got to go and do, which is really interesting. He's bringing back the same horse as well. They won a 5-star Grand Prix in Wellington back in 2022. So it's interesting when you have a defending champion come back, because there is that pressure of, oh, can they do it again? But they also know what it takes. They know how to handle the crowd. That was, of course, a jump-off situation. So if he makes it into the jump-off, he's very comfortable in that place. He knows how the horse is going to cope with some of the questions that are coming forward today. So definitely one to watch.
Yeah, he sure is, and we will be watching him with very, very eager eyes. It's all going to get down to the very last rider because of it, as we said, Richie Vogel and Martin Fuchs second and last to go. Have you got a pick then, Rosie?
Who? My heart says.
Of course,
my heart says with Steve. So
if he had a jersey, you'd be wearing it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think we need to create that in equestrian sports. I'd buy one.
Definitely. We all certainly would. We want to bid you a fond farewell if you are joining us on YouTube or on the 24/7 channel, of course. If you are, you can now switch over and watch this class for free on Clip My Horse if you are outside of Sweden. So you can still watch it, join the In and Out channel and just enjoy the rest of the afternoon sport, all for free, of course, because we love to bring it to you for free. That is, of course, outside of Sweden. You can watch it as a premium subscriber on Clip My Horse TV. Plenty to come your way with all of the action in this afternoon's class, this Derby from Falsterbo in Sweden. We want to hand it over to our commentator in Stephen Wild.
Live and on demand, anytime, anywhere. Horses, sport, entertainment. Clip My Horse TV.
Clip My Horse Studio Show for Falsterbo is presented by Stübben.
And a very good afternoon, and just seeing our lineup of our 20 to go in the Falsterbo Derby this afternoon. A perfect afternoon, sun is shining, crowds are packing in to this beautiful spot on the Swedish coast out here on the peninsula of Falsterbo. It is a wonderful seaside enjoyment holiday spot for all that head here. But it is hard work for the afternoon for a few, including Frank Rothenberger, our course designer. Being a Derby, longer time allowed at 180